This is Sarvana's with the B2B Cambodia Market Update for June 11, 2025. The Cambodia Securities Exchange Index rose by 0.23 points or 0.06%, closing at 407.9. Total trade volume was up with 83,787 shares changing hands at a total value of 496 million real or over $123,000. On the main board, two stocks were up. Leading the market today was Royal Group Phnom Penh SCZ, was up 0.47% or 10 reals to 2,130 reals per share, followed by KMGSM up 0.41% or 10 reals to 2,430 reals per share. On the downside, four stocks were down. The biggest loser of the day was Pestec Cambodia, which dropped 1.50% or 40 reals to 2,630 reals per share, followed by Sihanoukville Autonomous Port, which slid 0.82% or 100 real to 12,100 reals per share. Grand Twins International and Phnom Penh Autonomous Port were also down. Meanwhile, the three remaining stocks stayed flat. Over the growth board, both stocks declined. DBD Engineering fell 3.77% or 80 reals to 2,040 reals per share, while JS Land dropped 0.35% or 10 reals to 2,830 reals per share. Akleda Bank recorded the highest trade volume of the day, with 48,969 shares changing hands at a total value of 337.8 million real, or over $84,000, about 58% of Wednesday's total trade volume. Grand Twins International recorded the second highest trade volume of the day, with 9,627 shares changing hands at a total value of 76.8 million real, or over $19,000, approximately 11% of June 11th trade volume. Moving on to the exchange rate, the Khmer Real strengthened to 4,013 reals per US dollar, while the US dollar index was slightly down to 99.04. Looking at the global commodities, oil prices edged up toward a 7-week high on Wednesday as markets assess the outcome of US-China trade talks, yet to be reviewed by the US President Donald Trump. Brent crude futures were up 9 cents or 0.1% to $66.96 a barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate crude was up 18 cents or 0.3% to $65.16. US and Chinese officials agreed on a framework to put their trade truce back on track and resolve China's export restrictions on rare earth minerals and magnets. US Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said on Tuesday at the conclusion of 2 days of intense negotiations in London. The two countries are the world's largest economy and oil consumers. Gold prices firmed on Wednesday as investors remained cautious as uncertainty over the US-China trade truce lingered ahead of key inflation data that could provide clues on the Federal Reserve's next policy move. Spot gold gained 0.7% to $3,344.93 an ounce. US gold futures rose 0.7% to $3,366.40. Stock futures slipped early Wednesday as investors sought details on trade policy consensus reached between the US and China. They also anticipate the release of May Consumers Inflation Report. At the time of Cambodia's market closing, futures tied to the S&P 500 were off 0.34%, while Nasdaq 100 futures inched down 0.38%. Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 108 points or 0.25%. This was Sarvana's with your B2B Cambodia Market Update for June 11, 2025.